Your city, your sound. Newport City Radio.
Certainly is Gareth Willie on the Scissors One Cut Jam, Newport City Radio, Newport's official radio station. I'm joined by special guest, Rhys Jones.
Good afternoon.
You alright?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Good to see you.
Obviously, Rhys, anyone who lives in Newport knows you. But for those outside of Newport listening, who are you? What do you do?
Well, I just like playing live. I just do open mics, I do Cardiff, Newport. I'm running one now in McCann's every other Sunday. We go from 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. Obviously, then I will support every single other open mic in Newport, because you can't have a favourite. It's not fair. So there's Riverside Sports Bar and Kitchen. It's really hard not to say Riverside Tavern, but the Riverside Sports Bar and Kitchen
is
tonight.
Now, is it?
Yeah, it's got new ownership.
Right.
That's Mr. Lewis. He's a good boy. Adam Southall and Andrew May, if you know them from Broken Karma.
No idea. We didn't get many questions for you, but we've got a really good one. What do you think about the current live music scene in Newport?
At the moment, I think it's pretty good. It's been up and down. We used to do an open mic in the Pen and Wig, and at the time there were a couple of venues, and they were all sort of going, we'll all go on a Thursday, and you're thinking as a musician, it's like, I'm going to have a split crowd now, and we're not going to have the same support. So it's better now because you've got a different open mic every day of the week, bar Tuesday, Friday and Saturday.
That's good.
So yeah, there's a niche now for another club to perhaps do it on a Tuesday as well.
It's an option for beginners, amateurs, pros, just to go in and play or do comedy or talk.
Yeah, it's not just music. Spoken word. Magicians, comedians are really hard to find.
It's
like
quite
to see
hard.
Some more.
It's hard to make
hard.
people laugh.
It is hard. Well, I suppose my show's a bit comedy, or a comedy of errors, if you would. But
I mean, in conversation, it's easy to banter and stuff like that. But when you put on a stage and you're being judged, it's a lot harder, I think.
Well, yeah, you got to box clever as well. I remember doing, I was playing The Warehouse. Anyone who plays guitar, they will hate to be asked to play Wonderwall. I can't speak for everybody, but she said play Wonderwall, and rather than just have a go at her or whatever, I just said, what do cows drink? And she said milk. Obviously cows don't drink milk, they drink water. So that's how I deal with a heckler,
Yeah.
So we give her a round of applause, everybody, and we just go on with it. But
yeah.
But
professionalism.
Well, it's just fun, innit? Yeah. I mean, I'm not getting paid to do this stuff. I do it for free, so it'd be nice to get paid. But there we go. Do
you think you'll build up to that? Build up reputation?
I've had a couple of small gigs where, I might get paid £10-20, just to fill up a couple of, maybe half an hour. I'd like to. I mean, I'd like to get a CD together. Obviously, with my mate Rhys, we do a lot of duetting now. So we're working on new stuff as well. So
another Rhys.
Yeah, Rhys Hone. Yeah, Rhys. So check out him on Rhys Hone Music. That's at Facebook. So yeah, very good friend of mine, and we're 7 years apart. So it's a very, we only know each other a very short space of time, but I got a lot of time for him. He's very good. He writes all original material as well. So a lot of artists go out and just play covers, which is nothing wrong with that. That's where the money is usually. But I like writing, and he likes writing original songs. So
I think covers are good for starting off, and when you've established yourself and your style, I think it becomes easier to put words on paper after you've listened to so much music, you've sang so much.
Yeah, definitely.
We've had him on the show before, and obviously you work together. Do you think you'll come out with a CD together then, and do studio stuff together?
Oh, I can't. Basically, we've got one song we do together. It's called Spitfire. I would play it for you tonight, but I don't play it on my own. I can't do it without him.
He mentioned the song, actually. When he was on, he said, I can't play it alone.
Oh, yeah. He sometimes he does, but perhaps he's, I don't know. We never argued about it, but sometimes I go, I can't believe you played that without me. But we had, I was being a bit cheeky on Facebook, and there's a gin, I can't obviously advertise things, but there's a company that do an alcoholic beverage, and it's called Spitfire. So I just messaged him and said, we got a song called Spitfire, let us do your music. And we actually got a reply off him, so there could be something happening with that.
Okay, yeah.
And then maybe we I think he's working on his solo stuff as well, but maybe we'll do something together, but it might take us more than a year, because we've only got a couple of songs in the pipeline at the moment. So
it takes time. I mean, you want it to be right, you don't want it to be put out fast, do you? You just want it to be right.
No, you can't rush it, definitely not.
I think with the age difference, that's quite a good thing, because you probably have a different music taste slightly to what Rhys has, and you complement each other's weaknesses?
Some things. I mean, we're both massive fans of Blink-182 and Green Day.
Okay.
So, you know, we actually got very similar tastes. I mean, he likes a lot of John Mayer, whereas I'm not. I don't know a lot of John Mayer, so what I've heard is pretty good. But then again, I do like a lot of Iron Maiden and things like that. And I mean, I like a bit of everything, bit of rap, anything, you know.
There are some people who can't stick to a genre. It's just a good song is a good song.
That's it. I completely agree. Yeah. I mean, another thing with music as well is I'm not a big fan of Adele, but there's no way I would never say she's not a good musician. It's just not my cup of tea. I still respect her and the fact that people like her. You know,
just different styles.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
You can have an amazing voice, amazing music, but it just might not be your style or your beat.
Yeah. A perfect example for that is Justin Bieber. A lot of people didn't like his old. I mean, a lot of people did like his old stuff, but now he's doing a lot of collab with Ed Sheeran. I've heard a couple of them, and I think, yeah, fair play. It's very good.
His new album was good. Yeah.
I think the one is it Love Yourself? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Sorry, I turned your mic off then. No, was squeaking.
I'm sorry. No, what was it? Like, I remember when I was in high school, I used to say, "Oh, it's just Justin Bieber's gay," and then you grow up, and it's like he's kind of grown up as well, and like listening to Love Yourself, I was like, "Oh yeah, this song's my jam." Yeah, who sang Justin? Oh, okay.
But I think when like someone says, "Oh, Ed Sheeran probably did collaborate with that," and you're thinking, I can hear it now, it does sound like Ed Sheeran without the voice, you know. So
right, yeah.
I don't know if he actually did write the music for that, but it's a very good song. It's
you don't know these days, like some pop stars do all the work themselves and others don't do any of the work.
No, that's right.
You just can't tell.
Perhaps that's something I'd like to do, is actually be more of a writer for other people. Perhaps, like, you know, someone say, "Oh, you know, give me 10 songs and I want them about this, that and the other."
Yeah.
And, writing is my favourite part of anything.
Okay.
Writing is, personally for me, is the best part. I wouldn't say I was the best singer or the best guitarist, but I enjoy it. But writing, I do enjoy. It's just a way of telling a story through song.
A lot of stars, a lot of singers and artists start off that way. They write for slightly more famous people than them.
Yeah.
And they go up and up and up, and then they become famous themselves.
Yeah.
And they go for it, you know. Like Sia, for example. You know, she wrote loads for famous people. Recently came out with an album. Now she's really famous, you know.
There's a girl from Cardiff. I think, is it Amy Rag or Amy Wag, something like that?
Oh, I'm not sure about Cardiff people. I know all the
she's definitely
Newport
Welsh.
people.
She's Welsh. She writes for some big artists.
Right. Okay.
It's
another avenue, isn't it?
You know, I was going to say Lady Gaga actually wrote a load of songs for Sis Sisters.
Oh, that's right, correct.
Yes.
I think,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. She was formerly a dancer as well. You know, she came into the music industry very, very late. I'm not sure how old she is, but I think she's a little bit older than me, and I'm 30. So
right, okay.
Yeah, she's doing good for her age.
But very obscure.
Yeah,
the meat dress.
I think, like, some people, when they come into media, though, they kind of want to be weird, don't they? They establish themselves, and then they're just like, do you know what? I feel like, you know, like Poppy, for example, you know, she's weird.
Yeah, there's like a girl on YouTube.
I haven't heard of her.
So
she's quite young.
Very young girl with white pinky hair.
Yeah, she has a lot of weird videos. But
that's made people listen to her music because she's so weird and interesting.
You've got to be unique and stand out, a bit of individual. You know, some people do things for shock value. I mean, a lot of not just artists, but, you know, actors and stuff. They'll do a gimmick. I don't know if you remember Winona Ryder when she got arrested for shoplifting.
No.
Well, she said she was practicing for a new film role. I don't think a judge is going to buy that.
I've heard some worrying ththings, about actors doing extreme stuff, you know, for roles. You had the Joker in The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah. Heath Ledger, yeah.
That was
that.
Yeah.
Great performance, though. Carrying on from the original question I had,
Sorry,
which was from Ian Lambsdale. That's all right. How do you think Newport can make its nightlife better?
It's a tough one, that, because obviously we've got Friars Walk. There's a big debacle at the moment with a couple of the clubs on Cambrian Road. I will say I completely support the club side of it.
Do you think it needs improving?
There can be little tweaks made. I know Mr. Harris is doing a lot. He's working very hard. He's done 20 years. He's employing people in Newport. He's doing a lot for music. You know, I've played in a couple of his clubs. You know, you got the Riverfront Theatre. Then one thing I'd like to see is the open mics go back to the Riverfront Theatre, because you had something different there, because it wasn't a pub or a nightclub. Sometimes you do an open mic in a pub and people are just going in for a drink and they don't really go for the music. Whereas the open mic down the Riverfront Theatre, everyone was there for the music, so you could hear a pin drop. Whereas some places you go and it's very hard to hear yourself.
A lot of chat,
you know.
Yeah, and that's fine, you know.
I think like well, it's not called the Tavern anymore, but I remember Tobias.
Yeah,
Robertson?
a lot of respect for Tobias.
Because I was talking to him a couple of years back, and he said that he went there and it's just completely changed now, because he went there and he was just performing to like 5 drunk guys and on this like one table. It's not the same. I mean, ever since TJ's,
that'll always be sorely missed.
That was a big venue right there, and I think a lot of it's kind of moved. And I think as well, we don't have as many students as well. I mean,
that's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think I heard something the other day about the Killeen campus.
Yeah, it might be reopening.
Good. Well, that is a big thing.
Might have funding for that. Yeah.
I'd like to see the University of South Wales. I'd like to see the Newport one at least have more courses, so more students would actually be in Newport as well.
I completely agree, because when we had the Killeen campus, when we were running the open mic in the Pen, we had a lot of young aspiring musicians. Obviously, just before they would go into another university, perhaps a transfer or something like that. And I mean, a couple of them I haven't seen for a long time, because they're so far away, and now we haven't got the campus down here, and it's quite hard to get acts to come down from Cardiff to come and play in Newport as well, unless they're getting paid as well. And obviously, I'm mainly an open mic person, but we had a young man from Cardiff actually come down on Sunday. He was phenomenal. He was very good. His name's Ben Elliott. Feel free to check him out. And I'm told he'd be coming down to support us again as well.
Oh, cool.
But to go back, I like the nightlife in Newport. I do personally. There are a couple of things that could be done to change, but I mean, generally, no, I wouldn't change too much.
It seems like a very good atmosphere on Fridays and Saturday nights.
Yeah, and Newport's always been a musical town. It'd be lovely if we could get a new TJ's back together. I'm not sure if that'll ever happen. But,
do you think there is a market for that then? Like, a lot of people miss that.
Definitely.
Enough people.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. I mean, we did have a place, Elsico's, obviously, and unfortunately that stopped after a couple of weeks. I won't go into all of that.
Right.
But that could have been the new TJ's. I went there on the grand opening. It was like being in TJ's. Obviously, all the old people from TJ's came back, because a lot of them, I mean, TJ's was open for years. So you got, I know people in their 30s, 40s, 50s that used to go to TJ's, so it would be lovely to have something like that back.
There's a lot of history with TJ's. I mean, like, even going back to when it used to be TJ's and a restaurant, an Italian restaurant, wasn't it?
I think that was Langton's, which is by the job centre, but I'm not 100% sure.
I remember it being, because I remember somebody told me that TJ's actually expanded into both the stores. But I think even like from TJ's, I mean, you look at other pubs or bars that did live music. You got like 6 Feet Under that used to be more metal. Now they went baseline. The pubs changed completely. I think there's like definitely a change of atmosphere, and I don't know what that is. I mean, I think a lot of it is down to I don't know. We've lost something. It'd be nice to bring it back. I mean,
I think what it was we did lose was TJ's. It just had that. It was I mean, I've seen some massive bands in there, and I've even met them and talked to them and had a cigarette outside with them. Like Bowling for Soup. I met the guys from Bowling for Soup. Just Real Big Fish is another big band. I mean, not a lot of
them.
I love ska.
Yeah,
I love ska. They're doing a little mini festival this summer as well with Les and Jake, Goldfinger.
Yeah.
So I would there's, I think the 3 dates: Birmingham, Hatfield, and I think there's one in York or something like that. But something I haven't been to a festival for years, so I'm thinking about going to that this year.
Maybe Newport should have a festival.
It'd be nice. It would be nice. Obviously, I mean, I knew you guys done a lot of work with Maindy Festival.
Maindy Festival, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I did that last year. I'm always interested in helping anything you guys are working with, so keep me in mind for that as well. So obviously, I think there's one coming up, but I'm not sure if you do it. Is it right? Are you doing records still?
Yeah.
You are doing records.
Big on that, yeah.
All right, well, yeah.
We love it.
Keep me in. Yeah, we did that last year. We raised a lot of money for charity as well. So
yeah,
remember,
really good day.
Kim had a lovely big bouquet of flowers from Ramsey as well.
Yeah, I remember that. It was really good. Yeah, filling the streets with music on that day, and it'd be nice if we had that like every weekend or every day. Call me crazy, if we had the musicians, and people who wanted to do it. Going back to what Elle said about maybe we've lost something. Do you think that culture has changed, as in this generation is more into music being played on stereo rather than live music? Do you think that affects the market for people like you?
I would agree to some extent. I know there's a couple of places, what they're trying to push now is to get, they own nightclubs and clubs, but they're trying to get younger people in. They're trying to put events on. Obviously, they can't drink, obviously, but, they can come in and have soft drinks, and they're trying to get them into live music that way. And I fully support it. I prefer...
Because, younger people who aren't old enough to drink, they still want to go clubbing.
Yeah, to some extent. And they want to have a nice venue where, they don't have to worry about other people being in it. Because I think Newport has changed.
Yeah.
Obviously, we used to have a lot of drug problems in Newport in some of the clubs. I wouldn't say I've seen any problems in any clubs, and if there is, they're immediately thrown out. But to go back to your question, I don't know. No, I think people still... I'd encourage them to go out. I think people still want to go out and see live music. I mean, it's much more fun than just sitting at home with your headphones on all the time.
Yeah. I remember when we Newport City Radio had a collaboration with Rhys. That was quite good.
Revolution.
On a Thursday. Yeah.
That's right. I think Adam Southall and Joe Kelly used to run that, I think.
They used to run the show here, and then we go straight there for acoustic night with whatever guest was here. That was really good. Collaborations like that.
Yeah.
With community organisations like this, non-for-profit organisations. That's really good.
Well, I got to be fair, and when we started the Pen and Wig, we used to rent some of our gear from you guys down here. You used to supply us with our gear, and we couldn't have done that without the help of you guys. So, it's another thing I've got to say, that you do so much for live music. You do so much for all kinds of music. I mean, that's why I'm here. I always come down here. So, I think Newport it's a musical town. It's got to stay as a musical town. So I'm just a bit worried about that end of town, the High Street and Cambrian Road.
Yeah.
If he's worried about the council perhaps wanting to make it more of a hotel-y area.
Right, yeah.
But we don't know.
I think we could definitely bring it back. I mean, we're right by the train station. I mean, I've been to quite a number of gigs. Motor Point, the Cardiff University, always stacked with
and they're
people.
all by the train station, isn't they?
Exactly. And we've got a train station right in Newport. I think we just have to move the scene back in. We definitely need to promote it a bit more.
And as good as Friars Walk's lovely to walk around. There's no actual music venues down there, I don't think. I mean, I don't even know if the Leisure Centre does many gigs these days, because you've got the Neon now.
The last one I saw wasn't it Bullet or something? They played there a while back.
Bullet from a Valentine.
Yeah.
I saw Motorhead in there twice.
Yeah.
I've seen some big bands in there. And always had a good night in there as well. So
I was quite disappointed, Chirpin. I was quite disappointed about the Neon. It wasn't as big, and it didn't keep as many promises as it did promise. I feel it wasn't as great as it said it was.
I've not been in there yet, but I have been in the Little Neon, which is on Market Street. It's opposite the Mez Lounge.
Right.
My friend Georgia, or we call her Daisy Blue.
Yeah, I had her on as well.
Lovely lady. She might be out tonight actually, but she's starting an open mic on a Thursday in the Neon. It started last week. That's the Little Neon now.
Right.
It's a Neon bar and lounge. And I would, get down there and support her. Unfortunately, I can't go tomorrow because I've got a work placement. So it is what it is. But
what time is that tomorrow?
I think it starts at 8 o'clock.
Awesome. Okay. I've got another question here. Who are your favourite Newport performers and general musical influences?
I'll stick with the Newport performers, and it's hard to have a favourite. I've got to give a shout out to the Apple Tree Theory. They work really hard. They're gigging so many times a week. They play the Celtic Manor. You've got to be good to play the Celtic Manor. Obviously, Rhys, good friend of mine. Tobias Robertson, Connors and the Con Men, good friends of mine as well. There's not so many ska bands these days, or reggae type bands. So I would, you've got Too Rude and Connors and the Con Men. I would check those out. Very great, very good reggae and ska bands.
There's definitely a market for that, because we've got a big Jamaican culture in Newport.
Yeah, true.
And when I used to work in a bar, they had a reggae night, and it was packed. It was the most packed I've ever seen. Such a good atmosphere.
I think Karma Lounge used to do a bit of reggae stuff as well, didn't they?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Karma Lounge used to. So it's not somewhere I've actually gone myself, but my favourite type of music is ska and punk. But you were saying what my main influences. My biggest influence from young would be the Beach Boys.
Right. Okay.
My dad got me into them very young. I would always say, I think, in my personal opinion, they're better than the Beatles.
Okay.
Guitar-wise and singing, because they're like a barbershop quartet.
Yeah. But
you can't take anything away from the Beatles at the same time.
No. Yeah.
Then growing up, I think the first CD I ever had was a Spice Girls CD.
Okay.
And then I got Enema of the State by Blink-182, and I was only about 14, and I was walking home, and I was thinking, I hope this is not going to be like Slipknot or something like that. You know, I didn't know what to expect. I'd only heard one song, and I fell in love with them straight away. I got the whole back catalogue of all their albums.
All right.
Yeah, I could tell you anything about Blink-182. Yeah, Green Day's another one. British bands, Feeder, obviously very entwined into Newport. John Lee.
They do a lot of gigs, actually, don't they?
Well, John Lee, he's no longer with us. Rest in peace to John Lee. He was from Newport, so when his funeral, that was a massive thing. He's up in the cemetery up by the gate. I can't think what it's called. Manic Street Preachers have got ties with Newport. Nicky Wire used to live up Ridgeway or something like that.
Yeah.
So Newport Gwent, our little part of the world, Monmouthshire, if you want to call it that. We've got a couple of. I mean, you look at where Tom Jones. I think he's Swansea boy, was he, or something like
I'm not
that?
sure.
But yeah, I mean, as South Wales has got a lot of ties to big artists. Duffy, another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're all inspirational in their own way.
Yeah.
But what I really grew up was Blink, Green Day, anything punk, The Offspring, Alkaline Trio. Which, if you know any of them, Blink have they got rid of Tom
Right.
DeLonge, and they got the guy from Alkaline Trio in, Matt.
Right. Okay.
Matt Skiba, and I absolutely love the new album. I think Tom was taking him the wrong way. And I hate to say that because he was my favourite member, but he's brought him back.
Right.
Yeah, Matt Skiba's bringing them back to their best. So we're really gutted though, because we tried to get tickets for the Motorpoint Arena. It sold out in 45 minutes.
God.
I never thought Blink would be that popular, but they are now.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they're going to do another tour.
Any gig I know that is in Motorpoint, I mean, because there's been 2 gigs that I've been to there. Every single time you go on the website, it just crashes.
Yeah, basically.
So many, because obviously big bands play there all the time.
Well, they went on sale at 9 o'clock. Rhys rang me at 9:45. He said, I've just been on the phone. He said, they've sold out. He said, I wanted to get VIP tickets. I think they were like £50 each. He said, I can't get them. And it was a day before my birthday. So it was July the 3rd.
Right.
I'm gutted I can't go to that. Because I'm a bit jammy. Because I'll get to that gig and I'll find a way to get behind stage. I'll be able to chuck up a CD and say, have a listen to that, Mark. Tell me if you like it.
There's that as well, opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be. I think you got to be respectful, but you got to be a bit cheeky sometimes.
Yeah.
'Cause you got to ask to get what you want.
The big artists want to see other stuff anyway.
Yeah,
of course.
definitely. Yeah, I can't imagine they go home and listen to their stuff all night. So,
No.
although I do, but that's generally trying to get it in my head and practiced. And
Yeah.
but another Newport act as well I want to give a shout out is to Lucas Alexander. He's doing, as you can see, I've got this here. He's doing an Ed Sheeran tribute act in the Neon. That's the 31st of March. So it's £10 a ticket.
Is that the small neon or the big neon?
That's the big Neon.
Okie dokie.
And he's going to have a couple of bandmates down there with him as well. A couple of other guys we know. And I've heard him do his Ed Sheeran, his Loop show. It's very good. He's got a great voice. He can perfectly imitate it. Or he even puts his own twist on it. But I would highly recommend anyone to go and see that. He's a good friend of mine as well. He supported me no end. Because when I started out, I was drinking quite a lot and stuff. And he stuck by me, and a lot of them have said, Tobias, they've all said, you've come on, you sorted yourself out a bit, and keep going, don't stop.
Definitely, yeah.
So I think everyone's got everyone's back, and that's one of the best things. I've met some of the best people doing the music scene in Newport. Some of the nicest people doing the open mics. So I've got some really good friends out of that. Big respect to a lot of them.